Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Use discount code. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Discount code TDL for 35% off. So one of my wishes has come true here, Matt.
There you go.
Beat the Chargers. That's what we said. Beat the Chargers. Beat the Broncos. That's all I asked for is my two wishes. I don't see a playoff run here. I mean, maybe if they beat the Chiefs next week, but who knows? The Chiefs aren't playing good offense. If they play good defense like they did this week, maybe. But it won't be a backup quarterback. It'll be the best quarterback in football. So, but 63-21.
You don't think the Chiefs are going to turn it over 5 times to help?
You never know, man. If Malcolm Koons plays like that, bro. If Malcolm Koons comes out and balls, bro. He's they moved Tyree Wilson inside. I mean, that's made a hell of a difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it took him long enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of those things are a lot of improvement, but 63-21 is crazy, man. This is a beatdown. This is nuts. I mean, they just kind of fixed all their offensive stats in like one game with points.
It's just so great, like how much of the NFL is like a week-to-week league. Like literally 4 days ago, this team got shut out, and now they're putting up 63 points. The defense is 14. Like they cover the over. They damn near double the over on their own.
I know, man. I know. Well, I mean, what happened in this game is they took advantage of the turnovers. I mean, that was a big part of the game. Like usually we see a lot with the Raiders offense throughout this year. When they've got the turnovers, they've only got 3. Like against the Dolphins, let's say if they executed like this against the Dolphins off some of those turnovers, I mean, they might have won that Dolphins game, So, I mean, that was good to see the offense kind of take advantage of those turnovers. Was a big part of this game. They started off 8 for 10 on third down. I mean, goddamn, that was nuts.
That's the other part I was going to bring up. Yeah, the third downs were huge. Like they were talking about it. I was watching the Prime Vision cast, which, by the way, anyone, if you're ever watching Thursday Night Football, that's the way to go. Super cool. Got a bunch of stats in the all 22 angle. But yeah, like they were talking about it, like just third down and turnovers were the key to the game. Why the Raiders were able to jump out to such a big lead and whatnot. I mean, shit, clearly worked. I mean, finally broke through, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, just those, just taking advantage of every single one. I mean, if you think about it, every single time they got turnover, they scored a touchdown. This game. I mean, when's the last time you saw that, right? I mean, that was a big part of this game. I mean, I saw some guy complaining about, the Raiders scored touchdowns on 42, 21, and 15 yards. Like, dog, they score touchdowns, though. Like, I mean, a lot of teams kick field goals in the situations. They have been kicking field goals in the situations all year, but you get 5 turnovers, and I think they scored touchdowns on all 5 of them, right? They had 2 for touchdowns by the defense, and then they had 3 touchdowns off turnovers. So off 5 turnovers, 5 touchdowns. Bro, that's how you beat somebody 63-21. I know I got to 21, but it was 63-7 before we put the white flag up. We're like, hey, let's let Easton Stick let him look like Easton Stick looks like he had a great game. 20, I think he's like 25 for 32, like something stupid like that. So
The other thing I like too, like going back to like the third down targets, like I feel like what they were doing a lot too is like using Michael Mayer to attack like the middle of the field, like and then even a little bit short of the sticks to try to expose that a little bit. Which, like, I mean, I think you pointed that out last week too, is one of the problems that was open all week, and nice to see Aiden O'Connell make the adjustment and finally get that guy involved a little bit more in the game.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was a big part of it, especially on third down. I mean, you can lean on him inside because he could take a 6-yard pass and turn it into 8 by putting his head down. Yep. And, you saw him get a touchdown this week, and they definitely had another big game for him. And then Devontae Adams had a huge game.
Yeah.
Definitely found different ways to get him open, and, and he was winning a little bit more this game as well. It started off a little shaky, but, I think when you start figuring other targets, like Tucker starts eating. I thought he had a good game. He almost dropped another pass, but some of those other plays he played pretty well. Tucker, he played really well, and it started to open it up for Adams. I mean, that's really how they should play, I believe. is open up for these other guys. Get Myers involved too. Get Mayer involved, and you can get Adams involved later on. And he gets a lot of more one-on-ones than other teams would want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like you think you nailed it. Like if you look back on it, like they started to use like the role players in the beginning of the game. Like who scored the first 2 touchdowns were scored by guys who had never scored touchdowns in the NFL before. You know what I mean? Trey Tucker and Zamir White, and then they ended up figuring out with Adams. Adams ended up having 100. Jacoby Myers throwing touchdowns out there and catching them. Another diving catch on that fade too. Another nice ball from O'Connell. So yeah, that's what I like to see too. Is like getting more guys involved, getting the role players going early, and then kind of leaning on guys like Devontae Adams to close it out and slam the door shut.
Yeah, I mean it was a great formula. There's a lot more play action this week too. So I mean the offense was really, they played pretty well. I mean, Zamir White had he was playing pretty well before we got into garbage time. So when you're in garbage time, some of those runs, they're stopping the run that coming after him. But he looked okay out there. I don't know if he looks like an NFL starter at this point, but I mean, he looked all right.
No, I thought he had a pretty good game. Yeah, he looked like he was running hard. There was still one play that like stood out in my mind where I'm like, damn, your vision still is terrible. I think they ran like power and he ran right into the polar, whatever, and still ended up picking up the first down because it was just that kind of game for the Raiders and which they were just dominating the Chargers. But yeah, he was running hard, being more decisive, and getting his pads down a little bit more than what we've seen from him in the past. And like I said, able to get that first NFL touchdown. So I think he started the game off right with a nice little 8-yard run, which is nice to see.
Yeah. I mean, that was good to see. The offensive line played well. I mean, Thayer Mumford was
great game.
Yeah. I mean, he balled. He was. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what did they do with that? I mean, you put him back at right tackle. He's got to be the right tackle. So what do you do with Luminor? Luminor's on a contract. So go ahead.
I was just going to say that was another interesting change-up where, like, normally they have Luminor play left and stick Mumford at right. And, I mean, obviously went with the opposite this week, and the results were a hell of a lot better than last time they played the Chargers.
They did it last week, too. They did that last week, too.
Did the last week, too? Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't play well, which was interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
He did not play well last week. He really did. I mean, because there wasn't a lot of times where there was a natural, not a non-3-man rush, but when there was just a pure rush and they were coming at him with 4 or 5, he didn't play that well. He's giving up some pressure a little bit. But this week, man, he was out there. I thought Parham, at center, I thought he, those snaps were getting out there a little quicker. You know what I mean? So we saw a difference there in the snaps, and and the way he might see the game different than Andre James sees it too, and help out Aiden O'Connell a lot, because a great center will help a young quarterback big time. I mean, that's something that is big for any quarterback, right? I mean, you can think about some of the best quarterbacks in the league. Look at who their center is. He's probably a pretty damn good center. I mean, it's true, man. It's crazy if you think about it. How quarterbacks with a good center, they play a lot better. But yeah. I mean, everybody played well, so I don't know. It's hard. I can just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to be pessimistic about. It's other than draft positioning tonight, because like you said, when you dominate a game like this, everyone played well. Defense is out there creating turnovers, and offense taking advantage and capitalizing. Got Jack Jones making one-handed pick sixes off screens. Malcolm Kuntz getting 2 strip sacks. Like, damn, dude. Yeah. That's, I think, the part that's like most encouraging, like from tonight, is like it wasn't guys that were like Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. Like those guys played well too, but it was the role players too that we haven't heard, or we've heard sparingly from this year, and then kind of all coming to a head too. So nice to build for the future.
Yeah, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Let's get over there, man. We talk about enough offense, but defense really showed out. I mean, they're the ones that created the turnovers, created the easy possessions for the offense. Malcolm Kuntz really had his coming out party on national TV. That was huge. Great to see against a really good left tackle. I don't know if he's struggling this year a little bit. Might be a little bit more up and down this year, but he's still one of the best left tackles in football, no matter how you slice it. And he balled against him. They're double teaming Max like crazy, and they left Kuntz 1-on-1, and teams are gonna have to think about that now. It's gonna be a decision they're gonna have to make if he's coming off the edge like that, and he is balling right now, especially the last couple games. He's been so close to getting these sacks, and I knew he was gonna start finishing, and we saw it this week where he's finishing and 2 forced fumbles. The second one, man, I heard that on TV. I was like, pop! I was like,
oh yeah, he stuck him. He stuck stick.
Wow. For real. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, he's the best pass rusher from Buffalo on the field today.
Yeah, right. He's showing out, man. He's showing who the real Buffalo Cat was. So
I know, right?
yeah, man. But
And
yeah,
our guy,
go ahead.
I was gonna say John Jenkins too, picking up a scoop and score for a big man, 45-yard touchdown. I mean, lots of like.
Yeah, man. But those are two plays made by Kuntz. I think Crosby was a monster too in this game. He's still injured with that knee, and people wanted to sit him out, and he didn't like that. So they came to play. I think a lot of that pumped him up too, kind of like, oh, let's sit him out. Let's just sit these guys out. And I think that pumped him up a little bit as well. And that's what they got real prepared for this game. And I think Antonio Pierce, since he's a Raiders fan, I think he takes these Chargers and games serious. To be honest, let's keep it real. That's why I think. That's why I think the Broncos they better come to play Week 18. I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be because the Raiders they're coming to beat them. I just hope I hope they know that for sure. Yeah, but any other thoughts on the defense? I mean, Jack Jones played was terrific. He played well. He had some great pass. Was good in the pass coverage. Has some good tackles on some of those quick throws, and of course he had that crazy pick that was just nuts. That's crazy to see on all 22. Man, it just be nuts. Your thoughts?
I mean, the only other guy that really stood out to me that I feel like definitely need to give him a shout out to was Divine Diablo. I thought he was flying around against the run, had a couple stops, one in coverage too, where it was him and Jones combined for it, and he was popping up off the screen, making a lot of like quality tackles. I know he finished the game, got a little banged up there at the end, but thought he had a pretty good game for a guy that we've been picking on a little bit. Still, more against the run than in coverage, so we'll have to see the tape to see how he did on the back end there, but. Another guy that needed a good game and ended up having it too. So,
yeah, for sure, man. I just the defense. They're playing really well, hopefully they really need to show it against a really good quarterback though. That's what I really wanted to see. I wanted to see them kind of show out because, Patrick Mahomes had his best game in a long time. And then they went back to not being good anymore the next week. So they got to show up against a really good quarterback, because I think that's kind of been their problem all year is when they face a top 5 caliber guy, they can't stop him. Easton Stick and all those guys, and Josh Dobbs and all those guys are great. And it looks awesome, and they're stopping them. But I want to see them next week come to play and keep the Raiders in the game, for a long time. The Chiefs' offense isn't good. That's the thing too. Let's keep it real. They're not good right now. They're not. So I want them to show out. I need that pass rush to show up next week. I need all that because the Raiders' offense is not going to be able to. They're not going to put 63 up next week against the Chiefs. So they got to come and play like they've been playing the last 2 weeks and bring that against the Chiefs so they can keep them in the game, because it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be on Christmas Day. I think it's a Monday Night Football game too, isn't it?
No, it's morning. It's in the morning.
Oh, okay. But it's Monday, right?
Yeah, it's Monday. Just like it's. I think maybe it's like a 1:00 kick. It's not like because they have like 3 games on Christmas, and it's like I think the first one.
Yeah, I mean, because if you could stop Kelsey, man, I mean that's how you stop them. You don't let them just do those. I mean, you just, I don't know. It's a different team, so you just can't let them dink and dunk on you. So it's gonna be interesting. I hope Patrick Graham has a game plan because, I mean, if the Raiders can keep up with that game, it's gonna be big for Antonio Pierce too. If they go out there and put another good showing and don't have a double-digit loss to them. All right. Any other thoughts here on this game? I mean, it's just so positive.
I know that. Like last week, we were like, "Wow, this is so negative. I don't know what we're going to talk about." This week, it's so good. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
Let's get some questions here. I saw some good questions up here, but how has AOC changed the minds on drafting QB in the first? Personally, I say no. I always say if they like a quarterback or where they're at, they should draft one. The question that I always been asking, and with him getting called out and said he's at a short leash and he throws 4 touchdowns, he's going to respond if we draft somebody. So you just have to realize that he's going to respond. If you draft somebody, that's the thing. We could, a lot of people are gonna be mad because he's a pocket passer. I can see it. People are mad at me because people are mad that he played well, but he's played. If we're keeping it real, he's played pretty well in about 4 of the 6 games. I mean, you can say the Dolphins game he was bad, Jets games he was pretty good. It was but I mean, played well against Chiefs, played well against Giants. He played well today. So, it's
I mean, I think with him,
it's a tough part. Yeah,
I think with him, like kind of like what you're talking about, alluding to, is like It's just the consistency, which happens with a lot of young quarterbacks. We saw it with Jordan Love early in the season. I mean, Jordan Love, the first half of the year, we were about ready to send him to the CFL or something like that. Now,
Yeah.
And we're going through it with Aiden O'Connell, where it just seems to be game to game. And I think that's where right now, like where we're like, and I think we've talked about this before, like where for him, the biggest thing is proving that he can do it in back-to-back weeks. Because right now I feel like for the most part, it's, hot and cold and up and down, so volatile. So
yeah,
but,
just keep the short leash on, I guess.
I will say Brandon Staley, I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if you watched any of the film from the last game, but I felt like he had a god-awful game plan for him. Like you pointed out last week before, it's just changing the picture on him and doing so much like rushing like 3 more times than like he blitzed. And that's, again, Brian Flores doing that. And then Brandon Staley, it seemed like just sat back in zone, let Aiden O'Connell pick him apart. And then on third downs would blitz him and Aiden O'Connell would throw into the blitz and get rid of it. I'm like, dude, did you not watch this? Like, how dumb are you? Do you there were points today where I was watching this and like just looking at him on the sideline. I'm like, I think he wants to get fired. I think he's like, you know what? I want to spend Christmas with my family. I'm done with this. Like, let's just go get our ass kicked by 40.
Yeah, seriously, man, because I don't know what the hell they were doing. I was watching on the Prime Vision. I was like, man, like some of those play actions. I'm like, why are we still allowing Devontae Adams wide open over the middle? Like, what are you doing? It was totally different. But that's what I'm saying. Steve Spagnuolo next week, he's gonna switch it up. He's like, oh, I can do that too. He don't think that he's gonna do that. I mean, that's a little sign of respect for Aiden O'Connell too, but he's got to beat that stuff. If he can't beat it, then I mean, he can't be a starter either. So, all right. What else we got here? I saw something about AP job performance after today. I don't know. I mean, Mark Davis really wants to give him the job. So that this kind of win though puts a lot for Mark. Mark's gonna be like, oh, we just in front of the fans too at home.
I mean, he's 3-3, right? So we keep saying what they've got to get to 9 wins. So he got 8 or 9 wins. Drops for 1 in the next 3. I mean, it's so hard, and it's one of those things where it's so week to week right now where I don't know. I can't get over the 3 losses in a row right now. We'll have to see how he finishes off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even after a 63-point win, because I mean that's the thing is, they kind of beat it down. I mean, because we could talk about this. I mean, Tom Cable, remember? Tom Cable had the 50. It wasn't him. That was 59 points, right? Tom Cable. It was Tom, right?
You might be right. It might be right. I feel like maybe I don't know if he was the interim coach that year or.
I mean, I'm just saying, like there's things like that where guys, the Raiders have these good performances, but then they have the Jaguars game the next week. Remember that? I mean, if you guys remember that, it was just the stupidest game to watch in my life. I remember that was one of the dumbest games. The 2010 I know you remember that, bro, because we were running all over them, but they were running all over us. And then I was like,
which one?
When they lost to the Jags that year, 2010,
with Tom Cable.
Yeah, Tom Cable, Jason Campbell. You don't remember that, man? You don't remember the kind of hopeful 2010-2011 season. You don't remember. You have to think of those memories sometimes, Matt. Think of those memories. Hugh Jackson was as the OC of that team.
Yeah. So this is actually kind of funny. This does not bode well for Antonio Pierce. So the Raiders' 59-point game was in 2010. That same year was Tom Cable's last year as a head coach.
Yeah.
So we're not losers anymore. I guess it doesn't mean quite as much anymore. Yeah, I think that was a comment that got him fired.
We're not losers anymore.
Yeah, we're 8-8. No, I think that was 2019 because I think he got another year after that because I think he did it again. He went
no. Oh no. Mark Davis, Al Davis did not let him leave the building after saying that.
Oh really?
Yeah. He didn't let him leave the building. All right, I think I'm missing some questions here. Is it the shooting cut are better than it's normally? Maybe we're bad today. What about the Dolphins game? What do you mean? Well, I said 4 out of 6. I did say 4 out of 6. I did say that. I'm trying to see. What are the chances of AP can keep Patrick Graham? I mean, I think AP got to keep his job though. But I think Patrick Graham. I always thought he's a great coordinator. So I just think he just needs some talent for once.
I mean, we're talking about this defense. Like you earlier were talking about this defense struggling against elite quarterbacks. It's also like a defense that has like very little talent compared to the rest of the defenses in the NFL. So like the fact that they play well against anybody is a good sign and a good for Patrick Graham. So
yeah, for sure, man. And was last week's performance on AOC or the play calling? It was on both, to be honest.
yeah,
it was on both. You know what I'm saying? I think that was he played bad, man. He wasn't good last week, but I mean, he looked pretty good this week. I mean, they went pass first too, which I thought was interesting. They were passing most of the game, and he was able to handle it. So I don't know. It just might piss you off, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. It might keep pissing you off. You never know. He might play terrible the next couple weeks, and then everybody's happy. All right. Do you think Jacobs not playing helped the offense? I mean, it helped him be more creative.
I was gonna say in that in that it unlocked Brandon Bolden for his best game as a Raider, putting him at Wildcat quarterback. I mean, I do think like what you're talking about, like of them leaning on the passing attack. Like I don't know if that necessarily happens if Jacobs plays. You know what I mean? Because like they've always talked about running the offense through him. And two, if you're the Chargers and you see he's going to be out, like you're probably going to be favoring the pass a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be willing to say that the offense is better without Josh Jacobs at this point, but it is hard to argue against after they just scored 49 points on offense.
I think what they learned in this game, though, because I mean, Zamir White still had a good amount of carries, but how many did Abdullah have? Abdullah had 6. I mean, why don't they just do that with Abdullah with Josh Jacobs, you know, and switch it up that way. So I think Abdullah's a pretty good runner, in my opinion. He for like a third down back where he can do those 3rd and 2, you spread him out, and he can get you 2 yards because he has pretty good vision. And I think they should do more things like that with Abdullah. Get him some more carries, get him some more opportunities to run the football with Josh Jacobs in the game. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be Zamir White. But I think Abdullah is good enough where you can come in there on 2nd and 8 and, you know, spread them out. Then everybody's thinking pass because he's in there and they can run the football and mix it up that way. I was like, why don't they do that? I never thought. It was weird. I don't know, man. But it's something they could do. Let's see. Who should AP hire OC if he stays? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. We got into the quarterback coaches. You got to be like the super deep into it. Who's the quarterback coach for Kyle Shanahan right now? I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Find someone from that tree. Just find whoever was coached by Shanahan or was on that 2014 Washington Commanders staff or whatever, Redskins back in the day. Yeah,
or hire that dude from Kentucky, Liam Cohen. Get his ass back in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, he was with the Jets last year, right?
No, he wasn't the OC though. I think he went back to. I think he went to either back to the Rams.
He went back to Kentucky, but I thought he was with the Jets last year.
He left Kentucky and then went right back, which I thought was interesting about Will Levis. But maybe it's like why did you leave and then go back? It was just weird. Yeah. All right. Illuminar's talking shit, huh? Did calling plays from the booth?
He's the Rams OC last year.
Okay. Did calling plays from the booth help? I don't know. Maybe. It looked like it.
I mean, scored 42 points this week or 49 points this week and 0 last week. So I guess it did.
Yeah. Does this help with a lot of chance? Yeah, I think so, man.
I mean, yeah. It helps his chances. I just don't know if it like confirms it.
I think hopefully Gase was locked out this week. It looked like he was. I don't know. I think we didn't see too many stacks and bunches this week. I don't know what the hell I was watching last week, man. I was on the radio and they were like, so what is it you talk about? What do you mean Adam Gase was influenced? I was like, I saw too many stacks and bunches last week and I've seen a lot of those. I was thinking Sam Darnold was quarterback. I was having some nasty flashbacks watching film this past week. I was like, yo, that's Adam Gase, man. Get his ass out of here. He's got to go, man. I don't know what the hell that was about. But, you know, somebody said bring back Todd Downing. It's not funny. I mean, we'd have to Frank Smith. You'd have to give him some money.
Yeah, well, money, and if you can turn to him and be like, well, this is going to be your offense instead of having to play second fiddle to McDaniel, maybe like kind of like what LaFleur did with when he went to the Titans that one year after I think it was with the Rams or was he with the Niners? I can't remember.
I don't know.
One of those two trees.
Is Rivera getting fired? Eric Bieniemy. Don't joke though. I mean, for OC, I'll take it. Look what he's doing with Washington. They look pretty good, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't say I've caught too many games. Are they that good, or are they just playing from behind that much that they're throwing?
No, they're pretty good on offense. They're pretty creative. It's just they're just not good. I'm trying to explain it to you. I mean, but on offense, they're pretty good. And a lot of Howell's yards don't come in garbage time. I mean, but they're playing pretty. He's got him playing pretty well. He looks like an NFL starter. Yeah. Oh no, I don't want Rivera. He might get fired. I want Eric Bieniemy could be OC if he gets fired. That's what I'm saying. They got to keep Kuntz, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's not a free agent, so yeah, he's got one more year on the contract.
Also, if they can they need a DT, man. If they can find a pass rusher DT. I know people are like, Jalen Carter, but Tyree Wilson moves inside. We just need one more guy, and I think they got a pretty damn good defensive line. Yeah, they could probably sign somebody to do that. To be honest, though, they could probably sign somebody to do that. All right, any more questions we got here? What would it take for guys to break down a classic Raiders game? That would actually be dope. I've thought about this. It's something they could do in the offseason.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more of a summer thing, but I mean, I don't know how much. It would be tough to get the all 20. Like it depends on how far back we're going on the classic.
I got the Mark Sanchez hot dog game on tape. If you guys want to watch that one, I do have to film that one. I do, for real.
It's a random game to just have.
Is it the Coach Voss group thing?
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, we can watch the Jets D versus the Mark Sanchez hot dog game. Raiders Classic. I do have that all 22. I would do that to you guys. It's terrible. It's awful to watch. It's just funny. But it reminded me though of Jamarcus Russell, and like Game Pass was on back then. We'd have some nerds be like, but his arm. Some of the throws he makes in that game are nuts. He made some nuts throws in that game.
I didn't even realize Game Pass was a thing back then.
It wasn't. That's the thing. See, if it was, he might be still being in the NFL. Somebody
okay, because
there'd be some nerd be like, look at this throw. You know what I mean? All right. I think we got it. Gruden for OC. Gruden for offensive consultant. Jason Garrett. That's not even funny. Jason Garrett for OC. That's not even a joke. I would fire Antonio Paris in my head if he did that. I don't think he should be taken serious.
I was gonna say Marcus will shut down the channel if.
I think so, man. I'd retire, bro. I have to do something else. If Jason Garrett gets hired, I'm protesting, man. I'm covering special teams. He's covering special teams, kickers and punters. We're gonna talk about gunners. It's gonna be real deep dive into special teams. They hired Jason Garrett. All right, I think that's it, man. Jack Jones, yeah. Jack Jones, he's a young player. He's under contract too, I think, for 2 more years.
2 years after this one, yeah, because he was drafted. He was a rookie last year. Got him for 2.5 years, basically.
Last question, because I kind of like this one. Do you think there's a team we could trade Jimmy G to? Oof.
They'd have to take on so much of that contract to the point where they might. I mean, I guess you get something for him, but I mean, the guy was really bad this year. The guy was leading the league in NFL in interceptions when he got benched, and he had missed 3 games.
I think he's still top 10, actually.
Is he still? Oh, and I thought you meant like I thought you were trying to say he was the top 10 quarterback. I'm like, Marcus.
No, bro. When I do my rankings every year,
go back through the videos from the beginning of the season.
When I do my rankings every year, I've never had him higher than 23. Let's say that. It's I've been doing it for like 3 years. I've never done it. So that's how I felt about Jimmy Garoppolo. But I don't know. Some sucker would take him, man. He's won a lot of games. Some sucker will take Jimmy Garoppolo.
No one is taking him with that contract.
Matt, yes, they will. He's a winner. There's gonna be
no one is taking him with that.
Some sucker is gonna take Jimmy Garoppolo because he's a winner.
He didn't win this year,
bro. I'm telling you, that's a sell. That's his whole sell. I mean, that's what they sold us on all summer. He's a winner, though. He's gonna win. Rich Gando's like, but he's won games. I'm like, Rich, I know you see him shaking in the pocket, Rich. I know I know you see it. I know you see it. You've been watching quarterbacks for so long. I know you've seen it. You played the position at a high level. You're lying to the people. So Yeah, I mean, that's how we should sell him. He's a winner. Look at it. I think he has a winning record with the Raiders, right? Isn't he like I think he's
No, he
3-3.
does.
I look at it. I think he's a Raiders starter. I think he's was he 3-4, maybe 4-4.
I think he's 2-3.
No, I honestly, I mean he's like 3-4. I think he might be 500, bro. He might be 500 as a Raiders starter. I honestly think he is.
Oh, he was 3-3. Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's a winner. That's your sell, bro. That's how you sell it.
No one is going to take that guy.
What is he? 43-20 now. 43-20 as a starter. Just give us a fourth or a fifth. Dogs, you know the NFL. Some sucker is going to take him, bro.
No one is going to trade for him in that contract.
See, but what if he's willing to restructure it? See, that's the thing.
No one is going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Matt, you don't know the NFL, man. He's a winner. You see, come on, dog. You know some owner, some sucker is going to take it because he's 43-20.
No one
okay, all right.
is going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
If the Raiders get a fifth for it, man. If the Raiders get a fifth, this is all we need. It's a six and a restructure. You guys do whatever the hell you want, but just give us a fifth or a sixth, man. We're good to go. He's a winner. Look, he's 3-3 here. I mean,
I hope you're. I'll just leave it at this. I hope you're right.
There's some sucker. That's what I'm thinking. It might be Ron Rivera, because talk about Ron Rivera. If he stays, he's definitely a sucker. He's definitely a winner sucker. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's a winner, Ron.
About Sam Howell 2 minutes ago.
Exactly. He has Eric Bieniemy. Look what he did with Sam Howell. And we bring in a winner for the Commanders, and we could, it's the most Washington thing ever is just to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think that is something there. Vikings too. We got Vikings. Kevin O'Connell. I would do magic with Nick Mullins and Josh Dobbs and see the Vikings, man. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna find a suitor, bro. We're gonna find a suitor. You're thinking it's crazy right now, Matt, but NFL teams are quarterback desperate, and he has the label of if he went to another team and the first game of the season and it was Troy Aikman would be like, he is a winner. They get on Jimmy a lot, but he won a lot of games in this league. He played a Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they tried that. There was a team called the Raiders that tried that logic, and it didn't work out.
NFL's not that smart, man. You're thinking too logical. The NFL. NFL teams just see a winning percentage from a quarterback. There's some owner. Is all he sees. He listens to sports radio. He listens to Michael Kay in New York. And all he sees is win-loss record. Bro, we can find a sucker. Do not take that record is gold, man. It is just, that's why Jared Goff gets blown out of line. Somebody's gonna take him because they're like, oh, he's this and this. I mean, Alex Smith got traded, bro. Like that, you know what I mean? Like somebody's like, I can win.
Alex Smith was much better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like he's doing like 15 touchdowns a year, dog. Like the Commanders could not wait to trade for Alex Smith. They gave a whole bunch of money. I'm telling you, there's a sucker because of that winning record. All right, this is a rant here, but it's true. I'm just telling you, it's true, bro. NFL teams are not that smart. They're not as smart as you get. The logical thing says no, but there's gonna be somebody, man. I'm telling you, because we'll see though. All right, that's too much Jimmy Garoppolo. That was actually some good content though. I like that. All right, so hit subscribe. We're out of here. Hope you guys enjoy this. Raiders won 63-21. It's crazy, set a record. Beat the Chargers. Now we just have one more mission. I hope the Broncos have a chance to get the playoffs, and we just kick their ass. So I hope beat them down the same way. All right, guys. Here we go. Peace.